right.
You'll not go all the way for nothing. Let's look what you found on the island.
Πάμε, hello. Είναι το ισόμουν. Close for little. Becky J.
Where I think it is important, because if you look at the legal outcome of that and the argument, Elon Musk, as well as anyone else, is able to support, or file claim against any coin that's out there. I mean, it's not illegal for someone to say, hey, I support this coin, whether they have a valid reason or not. So even with someone with Elon Musk's fortunes, and even with someone of his influence, he still has the right to be able to support a coin and support financial or legal cause for that.
So coming back to the logo change,
Ready?
this is
Ready? Majority of 50? Ready? Other than ready?
I think that's exactly what it is. I think I don't know how pre-planned it was, or if it was delayed April Fools, but I think it's ultimately something he just wanted to do to generate a discussion, generate talk, generate activity, and of course he knew that was going to have an impact on the performance of the Dogecoin as well.
All right, Mr. Mike Lewis, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that.
Good.
You're welcome.
Relations between the United States and China, the world's two biggest economies, have deteriorated in recent years. Tensions have spiraled further over espionage claims. In February, a Chinese balloon, which Beijing denies was a government spy vessel, spent a week flying over the United States and Canada before being shot down. Now the Pentagon has responded to a report that the balloon was able to gather intelligence on military flights and transmit the data to the Chinese government. On Monday, NBC News reported the Chinese balloon was able to transmit data back to Beijing in real time, despite the US government's efforts to prevent it from doing so. The disclosure could deepen Republican criticism for Biden for waiting for too long to reach a safe location before shooting it down. The Biden administration said it could confirm the report. It could not confirm the report, pardon me. The Pentagon said experts were still analyzing debris collected from the balloon after it was shot down on the 4th of February.
I wouldn't be able to say that they were able to transmit back to Beijing. We just don't have, I just don't have that type of information at this point.
That is not confirmed at this point.
That is not confirmed at this point.
And how confident are you that the mitigation measures that you took actually worked? Or is there new evidence suggesting that some intelligence was collected despite the mitigation efforts?
Yeah, no, thanks for the question. So we are confident in the measures that we did put in place. I know I sound like a broken record, I don't mean to, but what we know is that the intent of this balloon was surveillance, and that the measures that we put in place did not had limited additive value for what they were able to collect over our sensitive sites.
Maybe you mean that the mitigation efforts limited?
Correct. I'm sorry. The mitigation efforts that we put into place had little additive value for the PRC.
Remember, at the time of the incident, US officials played down the balloon's impact on national security. Back then, officials also played down the idea that the balloon was much more capable of collecting information than Chinese spy satellites. The Chinese balloon incident prompted US Secretary of State Antony Blinken to also postpone a planned visit to Beijing. The episode caused an uproar in Washington and led to the US military to search the skies for other objects that were not being captured on radar. The FBI has taken the lead in analysis. On the 17th of February, the United States said it had successfully concluded recovery efforts to collect sensors and other debris from the Chinese balloon. the iconic Twitter bird is flown away. The blue bird has been swapped out for an image of the popular Doge meme featuring the face of Shiba Inu. Is it a belated April Fool's Day gag, or is Elon Musk trying to say something here? This new logo is perhaps most well known for serving as the face of Dogecoin. The meme coin that Elon Musk famously endorsed. On Friday, Musk asked a US judge to throw out a $258 billion racketeering lawsuit. Investors have accused Musk of deliberately driving up Dogecoin's price more than 36,000% over 2 years and then letting it crash. They say this generated billions of dollars of profit at other Dogecoin investors' expense, even as Musk knew the currency lacked intrinsic value. Now, Dogecoin price jumped after Twitter switched the logo to the face of Shiba Inu, and the Twitter CEO shared a thread of old tweets as well.
Lockheed Martin has secured a multi-year production contract for Joint Air-to-Ground missiles and Hellfire missiles from the United States Army. The total contract value is nearly $4.5 billion, including follow-on awards. The deal, valued at $439 million in the first year, is one of the first multi-year awards for precision munitions, as the Pentagon aims to build up stocks to deter China. The contract includes 3 additional follow-on awards, which will begin in late 2023. The JAGM program expects a significant increase in international demand for the weapon system, according to Lockheed Martin. This deal is part of the Biden administration's proposed budget of $842 billion for the Pentagon and $44 billion for defense-related programs at other agencies. That is $28 billion more than last year's budget.
Now, on Monday, NASA unveiled the crew for its moon mission, including the first woman and black man to voyage into deep space. The Artemis 2 flight is prelude to returning humans to the moon for the first time in half a century, and an eventual mission to Mars as well. The 4 astronauts dressed in blue flight suits were introduced by NASA Administrator Bill Nelson at an event at the Johnson Space Center, in Houston. Christina Koch will be a mission specialist on next year's Artemis 2 flight around the moon. As NASA astronaut, she holds the record for the longest single space flight by a woman.
It will be a 4-day journey, going 250,000 miles, continuing to test out every bit of Orion, going around the far side of the moon, heading home, going through the Earth's atmosphere at over 25,000 miles per hour and splashing down in the Pacific. So, am I excited? Absolutely. But my real question is, are you excited?
The first black man to take part in a lunar mission, NASA's Victor Glover, a naval aviator, will pilot the Orion spacecraft that circles the moon in 2024.
I pray that God will bless this mission, but I also pray that we can continue to serve as a source of inspiration for cooperation and peace, not just between nations, but in our own nation. Thank you, and God bless us all.
And rounding out the crew, a veteran NASA astronaut Reed Wiseman and mission commander Jeremy Hansen, a former fighter pilot. Hansen is now with the Canadian Space Agency. The 3 Americans and 1 Canadian will become the first astronauts to venture into deep space since the historic Apollo mission ended in 1972. As part of the Artemis program, NASA aims to send astronauts to the moon in 2025, more than 5 decades after the final Apollo mission. The U.S. Space Agency hopes to establish a lasting human presence on the lunar surface as a stepping stone for an eventual voyage to Mars. The 10-day Artemis 2 mission will test NASA's powerful Space Launch System rocket. It will also test the life support systems aboard the Orion spacecraft. The first Artemis flight wrapped up in December with an uncrewed Orion capsule returning safely to Earth after a 25-day journey around the moon. During the trip around the Earth's orbiting satellite and back, Orion logged over 1.6 million kilometers and went farther from Earth than any previous